Hi. All right. So, for the record, this is July 18th, Thursday, at approximately 7 a.m. I woke up early, I put some earrings on, a couple swipes of mascara, and I said, let's hit record, let's go! I had to put out a video on Saturday the 20th, and I have not filmed anything. I have been reading and watching and doing so much stuff with Anne Rice for like 2 years now. And it's been good. I've had a really good time reading all the stuff by Anne Rice. I love the TV shows. And it's a lot of vampire action, okay? So I was like, okay, maybe I'll read more vampire stuff. There's so many vampires in literature. Let's go. And then I realized, oh my gosh, it's been 15 years since I read Twilight. And I was like, this is an opportunity. So my plan here is to read Twilight and vlog the entire experience all within 24 hours. I'm breaking out my original copy. Hi, here it is, Twilight. My original ass copy of it. I'm gonna read it. We're gonna see how this goes. So I will check back in with you after I have read some. Oh, hello again. I am back and it is officially 1:16 p.m. I just took a lunch break because I do have a day job, so I haven't read very much of Twilight yet. I feel like I'm already behind, but I have read the first 2 chapters, so I'm like 52 pages into this one. And you know what? I kind of still like it. Oh my gosh, I thought I would be like, oh my God, what in the 2005 fuckery is this? But surprisingly, it's not bad. Like, I still like it now. Mind you, I'm only like 52 pages into this thing. There's a lot more book to come, so who knows what's gonna happen. But some cool stuff I was noticing in it so far is that a lot of Bella's personality comes from her being a parentified child. And, you know, when I read this 15 years ago, obviously I didn't have the words for that, but coming from one parentified child to another, like, a lot of stuff checks out. Because like both of her parents need to be mommied, and that leaves only Bella to do it. And Bella's like 17 and she's already buying the groceries and cooking the dinners. She's telling her mom to pick up her dry cleaning, and it's like, no, you're 17, you shouldn't have to do any of these things. So I understand her personality, because when you're that parentified of a child, you find it really hard to relate to other children, because you're an adult and they're kids, and you're like, I don't understand how you don't understand things. So I don't know, maybe it's just hitting something different now because I have had time to reflect. She first meets Edward and he's just like the weirdest weirdo who's ever weirded. The first time they meet in that biology class, like, he's just like as far away as humanly possible he can get, and just rigid, like he's like a little statue human. And Bella just assumes immediately that he hates her. And I understand why she would assume that as a kid. But as an adult, you know, there's a saying that when you hear hoofbeats, think horses, not zebras, because usually it's the most likely situation is the cause of things. And also with time, I have learned that most of the time, no one's mad at you. They're just mad about something else and you're there. So personally, the way he is acting, I would think like he's trying not to shit his pants. Like, the behaviors are very similar. He's that clenched, he refuses to look at or talk to anybody. I'm like, this kid's gonna shit his pants. What is going on with me? Like, I am having a lot of feelings, and most of them are nostalgia, but I'm also just like vibing with it. I don't know. Is Twilight still a banger? Time will tell. I'm gonna read the rest of this, but for right now, according to the first 2 chapters, still a banger. I am surprised. For time purposes, it is 5:45, okay? I've only read 1 more chapter of Twilight. I have so much more to read. I'm gonna read this book till my eyes bleed today, I think. But anyway. So we just had the big car crash scene where like the ice, and the kid almost hits her with her car, and like Edward stops it. And like, I had forgotten how early the gaslighting started in this book, because he's immediately trying to like change her reality and say, no, what you think happened didn't happen, like la la la, just trying to convince her of it. And she's like, bruh, I was there, I know what happened. He's like, no you don't. So we officially have red flag number 1 And Bella is still kind of obsessed with Edward. I think for the mystery of him right now, but like, what has he done to make you even like him? That's what I keep wanting to ask. Like, why are you obsessed with Edward besides the fact, like, he's hot? I mean, he did stop a car from killing you. So, I mean, there's that. But, I mean, that's the low bar, realistically. But, yeah, I don't get her attraction to him quite yet because he's only been, like, surly and gaslighting to her this whole time. But anyway, I'm gonna read some more. We'll see what's happening, but I just wanted to make a note that we officially have red flag number 1 in this book. I am now up to chapter 7, and there has been more interactions between Edward and Bella, and like, I don't know, I'm reading this through an adult's eyes now, and I have realized that Edward has like 3 settings. 1, surly asshole. 2, charming and seductive. And then 3, creepy stalker. And then Bella, like, I don't know, when I first read the book, I always thought Bella was so milquetoast and, like, boring. But now that I'm an adult and I have, like, perspective, I realize how well done her character actually is. Because a lot of it makes sense. She's a parentified child. So, like, of course, like, everybody else's feelings mean much more to her than her own. And, of course, she, like, has no sense of, like, danger because, again, everyone else's feelings mean more than hers. And it doesn't really help at all that Bella has also somehow become teenage boy catnip. I'm not sure why everybody in town is just obsessed with Bella. I guess she is the new shiny thing, but, like, everybody, like, it's weird. It's like, girl, are you made of Nintendo and Mountain Dew? Like, I don't know why she's so, like, everyone's so obsessed with her all the time. Also, oh my gosh, I almost forgot to mention, Jacob has entered the scene. He is 15 and awkward, and Bella is just manipulating him from the very get-go. She's like trying to awkwardly flirt with him for information, and like she doesn't know how to flirt at all, but he's 15 and a girl is talking to him. Like, it's not hard. Poor baby. Like, it makes me feel bad for Jacob because like he's like a victim in all this. Everyone's just like, he's in the middle of everything and everyone's using him for stuff. But anyway, Jacob has entered the scene. He has told her the story about the cold ones and how his tribe were like werewolves back in the day. Like, we know where this is going already, but we finally got, like, you know, the mystery being revealed here, and Bella's like, fuck, I guess he's a vampire. So I mean, she really readily accepts this behavior because, like, I mean, she did see him like teleport through a parking lot and like push a car off of her, so like I guess it makes sense, but I feel like normal people don't jump to vampire. You know what? The time has come for alcohol. Where am I in the book, you might be asking? Bella went to Port Angeles by herself, and she is seemingly allergic to good sense. Like, I fucking can't with you. So this 17-year-old girl, she's like been in a major city before. Like, she knows like the world a little bit. She's not that dumb. She's off in a strange city and she's like, hey friends, I'm going to leave you, go off all by myself to find this bookstore, and then I'll catch up with you later. Mind you, she has never been to this town before. She doesn't know where anything is. And she thinks walking around by herself down like deserted alleys in like an industrial district and stuff is just fine to do. And of course, some bad people find her. Like, obviously, you're where the bad people are. It's really weird to say this, but Bella is so lucky that Edward is stalking her. I mean, the bar for this is very low right now. And even Edward's just like, yeah, I followed you to Port Angeles. He just tells her, I am stalking you. And she's like, huh, cool. Like, she's, oh my gosh, this girl has never seen a red flag in her life. I feel like she's colorblind at this point. Like, maybe she's like red-green colorblind. She just, everything looks like shades of brown. Oh, I'm so upset. Like, who thinks this is a good idea? God damn it, Bella. You know what? It's only been one more chapter, since I last checked in, but the stupidity continues. Bella's just like, I'm in love with Edward, and he's a vampire, and I'm not fazed by that. I know he wants to eat my blood because, like, that's what vampires eat. Oh my God, you've known him for like a month and a half, and most of the time you've talked, he's just been an asshole. What is this teenage fuckery? Like, I can't with it right now. It is 8:24 p.m. Okay, so a few things have happened. The first thing is that I have spilled my wine all over my shirt, so I'm wearing a new shirt now. Second, that should probably tell you what my mental state is. But I wanted to check in because I'm officially at the halfway point. Bella is allergic to being alive. I am so confused by her behavior. She's like, oh, Edward, I'm so sorry. My murder is really going to put you in a bad position. She's not worried that she's going to get murdered. She's worried that, like, it would inconvenience him that he murders her. This girl is down bad. Oh my word. And even he is like, Bella, what is wrong with you? I'm a creepy stalker, undead vampire who eats blood, and I think you're fucked up. Oh my God. She needs therapy and lots of it. This is what I thought my reading experience of Twilight was gonna be. Just being incredulous that people are capable of acting in these ways, even though I know it's fiction, but that's why it's fiction, because people don't actually act like this. It's just so bizarre. Anyway, let me get back to reading this. Oh my goodness. Okay, sorry. I just read a little bit more after 50%. And I had to come back here. Okay, so Edward and Bella, they are officially in, like, their meadow. And he's like, ta-da, this is me in the sunlight, baby. And she's like, wow, diamonds and marble and stuff. That's cool. And he's like, okay, like, we could do this. And then, like, you know, they're having, like, their intimate moments. She's just touching his arm. But it's, like, a lot for them. Because, you know, Stephenie Meyer is Mormon. So this was a lot. And I guess she leans closer to, like, smell him. But he thinks she's going to kiss him. And he literally recoils so hard he's 20 feet away from her immediately. The sheer amount of recoil he did at the thought of kissing her. And then he's over there and he's like, give me a minute. And then he's just really angry and aggro for a bit, like saying, I could kill you, la la la. It's like he's like his own boner scared him that bad that he had to run away. I don't know. I think I'm at the perfect mental state to be reading Twilight, honestly. Like, wine was the right choice. Like, this book is so ridiculous. It's kind of fun now, but not for the right reasons. Anyway, I'm gonna ride this vibe. I'm having a good time. It is 9:07. I am almost 2/3 of the way through this book. The horrors persist, but so do I. Okay, so Edward has freely admitted to Bella that he breaks into her house sometimes and also comes and watches her sleep without, like, her knowledge. And she's like, really? I'm flattered. I'm so grossed out. Like, there's so many red flags and she's just ignoring every single one of them. What's red? I've never heard of this color before, she says. Oh my God. Like, just reading it, even 15 years ago, I was old enough to know, like, that's unusual. That doesn't seem like the right response to have to that knowledge. And now as an adult who's a little drunk, I fully believe that this is demented. Like, what is happening right now? Who hears I break into your house and watch you sleep and not go, okay, I need to get a restraining order? She just goes, cool. She's like excited about it. All right, so it's 9:30. I'm officially 2/3 of the way through Twilight. Like, it's just everything I read. I'm just like, how? How is this happening? Like, you know how Edward was the creepy stalker guy? Like, I feel like Bella has now become the creep, okay? She is, like, so obsessed with him. She's like, will you never leave me? I need you to be here forever, forever and ever. It's just like her obsession level with Edward is just unfathomable. And Edward just brought her back to meet the, like, his family, the rest of the Cullens. And, you know, quick backstories on all the people present, so we get all those. But there was two specific things in this chapter that really got me. One, Edward is just like looking at Bella on the stairs and she faints because she forgot to breathe. That is a whole other level of obsessed if you forget to breathe in their presence. She needs a lot of therapy. Frankly, I think it's because she's a parentified child. And then here walks in Edward Cullen, and he's the first adult who's ever taken care of her, and now she's obsessed with him. This is like a lot of psychological damage, and she needs therapy. But I do say that because, you know, Edward is like over 100 years old at this point. He is an old man, and Bella's 17. Like, technically speaking, I think we're witnessing a crime because she is well underage and he is over 100. So yeah, there's some problems here just legally speaking. The second thing that like baffled me was back at Edward's house. So he and Bella, they're just doing stuff. He's playing piano and it's a really pretty song. So she gets like tears in her eyes or whatever. That's fine. Whatever. That's normal, I guess. And here's the part where it gets weird because Edward like takes one of her tears out of her, like the corner of her eye, and he eats it. He eats her tear. He just puts it in his mouth. And I didn't remember he did that in the book before. This is a new thing I am just discovering now. But homeboy straight up ate her tears, like off her face, fresh ones. The level of obsession between these two is frankly horrifying. This is how it's a horror novel. Not because it's vampires, it's because these two are insane. So it is 10:22, and I am on page 390 of Twilight. I am almost done with it. It's 500 pages just about. I don't know. It's fine. Like, I am less upset now. I'm also sober, so that might be a contributing factor for like a lot of things. So Edward and Bella, they've played the baseball game, which is silly fun. And I'm kind of okay with it because, you know, like vampires in so much media, they're like, oh, we're going to go be sad and morose or listen to EDM at dance clubs while not dancing. Like just really dark activities. And they're like, yeah, man, let's just play baseball. And I'm like, yeah, vampires would play baseball. Why not just do things that make you happy? So that part I'm actually fine with. It's silly, but whatever. And then the three outsiders show up, and then you know, of course, Bella's out there smelling like a fucking snack, and the guy James, he's like, oh, that's a snack, and Edward's like, nuh-uh, and then he's like, I'm gonna eat this girl. Like, he's just decided. And like, poor Edward. I don't ever want to say that again because he is a creepy weirdo. But he's just like, Bella, it is a full-time job keeping you alive. It is wild that you made it this far on your own. Like, he's just gobsmacked because every day there's some new disaster with this girl. And he's like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm in love with you, so I'm going to have to put up with this forever. He's just... Oh my God, I think he's finally just realizing it. But anyway, they have to go try to trick this tracker and outrun him and everything. They're doing the whole ruse and going to Phoenix. And surprisingly, I remember fewer details about this book than I thought I did. Like, I knew they go to Phoenix. I know, like, the major plot points here. But, like, I don't remember most of the conversations and everything. Also, I'm reading it as an adult, so I think I'm going through it with a different lens. But... anyway, I'm gonna get a fresh glass of wine. Why not? You know, get back in the zone here. Okay, I'm like on page 450 of 500. I'm very close to the end, but I need to talk for a minute here because there's something bothering me. Okay, so James, the tracker, he finally figures out where Bella is and he puts his whole ruse together with like a old tape from her like childhood home of her mom. And he's like, I've got your mom. You have to come to me if you don't want your mom to get killed, and don't bring people. One of those whole things we've seen like so many times. It's an old trope. And, Bella falls for it because she's supposed to, he's convincing. But Alice is psychic, and she saw the dance studio because I guess she's like following whatever path James is on. Why couldn't she see him bullshitting Bella? She could be like, Bella, he doesn't have your mom. Just say whatever he wants and then we'll go kill him. Like, this would have been over 50 pages ago. It doesn't make any sense how her, like, visions are useless. Because I get it, they're very changeable. It's like if someone makes a decision, the path changes. But James made the very specific decision to, like, prank call Bella. Like, how did she not see that part of it? Why have her be psychic if she doesn't use it for anything? Anyway, so James, right? He has Bella. He got her. He got her to the dance studio. And he's like, girl, guess what? I don't even care about you. Like, I want to play with your boyfriend. And she's like, yeah, I get it. He's like way hot. But like, he also goes on about like, yeah, and Alice, like, I was hunting her, but like this other guy turned her into a vampire, so I couldn't get her. And boy, was I mad about it. And now you're here. So like, sucks to be you. Wrong place, wrong time. But like, also, I want to play with your boyfriend. It's just a lot. It's a lot of motivation here. His girlfriend doesn't seem to have a problem with him hunting down women. I don't know, maybe she's not a girl's girl, I guess, but it's just like his whole thing he gets off on in life is hunting women. Red flags, everybody. They don't exist in this world. I've also switched to water because I'm a mess. I got like 50 pages of this book left. It should probably be done in like maybe half an hour, I think. Hi, everybody. Okay, so it is officially 11:30 p.m. and I just finished it. I did it all in a day. And we all already know the end here. It's been out for nearly 20 years, which is wild to think about. So Edward and Bella, they're back together and they're still like obsessively devoted to each other. And then they go to prom and she's like, ew, prom? This human thing? I'm like, bitch, you are human. Like, you met a vampire like 4 months ago. And all of a sudden, like, ew, human stuff. I'm like, honey, you drank the Kool-Aid quick. She thought like they were getting dressed up because they were gonna like turn her into a vampire, which is also super wild because she's 17 years old. Like, I know. Bella is like an adultified child, okay? She's been an adult since she was like 8. So, like, I guess emotionally speaking, she's probably like 30. So that's why she's like, I know the decisions I want to make. This is not using like all of your prefrontal cortex to make your decisions. It is wild what is going on in her brain. She just has no regard for her own safety. None. Like, I think she's literally allergic to staying alive. Like, I'm surprised she's made it this long. She just has no good sense. It's just, she's immune to common sense. And then Edward, he's like 100-year-old vampire dating a 17-year-old, okay? That is a literal crime. And their whole relationship with each other is just codependent and obsessive. And I'm like, wow, this is so unhealthy. And I know back like 15 years ago, I felt it was romantic and I was like, oh, they love each other so much. And I'm like, do they? I feel like they're obsessed with each other, which is a little bit different. Is it still a banger? I don't think it's a banger, but I don't think it's bad. Like, if I read this book for the first time now, I'd probably give it like 3.5 stars. So it's not a banger, but it's still pretty decent read. I don't know, it's just Stephenie Meyer's writing style. I feel like it's incredibly readable. You just keep wanting to turn the page. What are these dummies gonna do next? I need to know. So you just keep wanting to move forward. So I think she's really good at like plotting. It's just sometimes her characters defy all logic. Anyway, I did it, guys. I read Twilight all in one day, and my brain is pretty much all in one piece, so I'm calling this one a win. Let me know in the comments down below, what's a book you read like in your childhood or just a really long time ago that you're scared to reread? Because for me, it was the Twilight series, because I loved Twilight back in the day. And I was like, what if I hate it now? Luckily, I don't hate it. I just don't like it as much as I used to. If you like this video, make sure you give it a like. If you want to see more videos, make sure you subscribe. And if you want cool exclusive content, including early access to videos and a book club, you can consider becoming a channel member or a patron. Links for that are in the description down below. And on that note, I'll see you guys soon. Goodbye.